What's up guys, go back to our video and we just got the official trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home and it was amazing. It revealed like so much stuff. It didn't reveal like so much even though it was a 3-minute long like teaser which is considered called a trailer. But we saw like a lot of things including like a bunch of Easter eggs, a bunch of details that like this movie could lead to the Multiverse of Madness and could lead to Tobey and Andrew showing up in Spider-Man No Way Home, including their villains that were hinting of the Sinister Six being formed in front of our favorites. So this will be my full trailer breakdown for Spider-Man No Way Home, uncovering all the Easter eggs and the details. So enough talking, let's get into it. So the trailer starts off with Peter and MJ on a rooftop, and we can see them on the rooftop because from the last Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Far From Home, Peter and MJ are now together, and what a nice lovely rooftop scene that we're seeing here. And with like MJ reading a newspaper that mentions an article about like Spider-Man having some sort of power that like hypnotizes women, and then like Peter and MJ make a joke about it. And that pretty much sums it up that they're still in a relationship with each other. And next, Peter says that it's so crazy that there, at which Peter and MJ are web sleuthing at the fact that like Peter Parker's identity was revealed because at the end of the last Spider-Man movie, his identity was revealed by Mysterio for murder, and now like everyone knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and we can see that it says like public enemy number one, and it was spoke by J. Jonah Jameson, like played by J.K. Simmons. So like we knew that from Spider-Man Far From Home and the credit scenes, so spoilers if you haven't seen it. J.K. Simmons was returning, and that the multiverse is present, and we're gonna see that unfold in Spider-Man No Way Home with like J. Jonah Jameson played by J.K. Simmons returning in this movie. And then next we see Peter Parker down at the police station, and then like Peter Parker tries to convince the police officers that he did not kill Mysterio's drones did, and then the police officer replies with drones that are yours, and we could have assumed that like Matt Murdock, played by Charlie Cox, was gonna be in this show, but because as we all know, Matt Murdock, played by Charlie Cox, is gonna be in Spider-Man No Way Home as Peter's lawyer. And with this, like with the police replying to like Peter, like the drones that are his, and based from the Far From Home mid credits scene, people did look at the footage, like it made it seem that like Peter used his own drones to attack and kill Mysterio. So we'll have to wait and see how that unfolds. But like they know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And then next we see Peter and MJ like FaceTiming each other. Now like MJ says to Peter that he doesn't have to hide his identity or lie to everyone, and that he's Spider-Man, because at the end of the last Spider-Man movie, like I mentioned at the beginning, like everyone knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And as we can see in this scene in the trailer, it looks like Peter, Ned, and MJ are on their way to a court to convince people that like Peter Parker is not Spider-Man. And with that, like Peter, everyone knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but like they're trying to like Peter is trying to prove to them that like he is innocent and that he didn't kill Mysterio with the drones. And then as Peter, Ned, and MJ are walking towards court, we can see that like someone is holding up a poster of Peter Parker, and it says on the bottom a devil in disguise, and we can see that it's designed like horns, so it looks like a devil, but like we don't know, like it's not Mephisto confirmed. Trust me, it's really not Mephisto, but he's expected to show up anytime soon in the MCU. Like trust me, Mephisto is not in this one, even though like yeah. And then, as we can see Peter talking to MJ a little bit more, we can see that New York is surrounded by a helicopter, because with the whole themes of this movie and this trailer is like dark, but because Peter Parker is wanted as a fugitive for killing Mysterio, because everyone thinks that like he did. And that like Mysterio said, and everyone that Spider-Man killed him with the drones. And then we can see Peter Parker at school, and with everyone recording Peter on their phones, and we can see a TV and with a news report on, and we can see that people are recording like Peter with their phones, and that's because like not just everyone in New York knows, but like, everyone in Peter's school knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And so what this means is that Peter's life is in danger, not just him like and his friends and family, but like everyone, and that like Peter Parker's life is in danger, and now like his identity is revealed as Spider-Man, and everyone knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. The next, we can see Peter going into Doctor Strange's sanctum because, as we all know from the beginning, Doctor Strange is involved in Spider-Man No Way Home and with the multiverse involved in this movie as well. With the sanctum, and it looks like it's covered in snow, so it looks like it's cold. And as Peter and Doctor Strange are talking, Doctor Strange says like they say they have the universe together, but Peter can like call him sir. And then like Peter calls him by his real name as Stephen Strange, and with this like Doctor Strange that looks like kind of chill, but like with like Doctor Strange his real job, like I think like he takes like his job and it's taking him very seriously. But with him in the same time, Doctor Strange that looks like you know like kind of chill. And then Peter asks Doctor Strange if they can do a spell to wipe everyone's minds to make sure that people forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And Doctor Strange really agrees with this. Then next, like after that, we see Wong in the No Way Home trailer, and as he confirms to be in this movie with Wong being in this movie, we saw Wong earlier in the new Shang-Chi trailer like fighting Abomination, so we like assume that like Wong is in there for like a brief second, and then going into the underground fight with Abomination. Then Wong says to Doctor Strange like to not do the spell, it's too dangerous. And with the spell to wipe everyone's minds to make sure that if Peter Parker is Spider-Man, like Doctor Strange like doesn't do it, but he's gonna do it anyways, and something is gonna go wrong with the spell, and that the multiverse will break open. Then, as Peter and Doctor Strange are about to do the spell with the ritual, and then Peter decides to make a few last changes at the last minute to make sure like his like friends and family, including Dad and MJ and May, like make sure they never get Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but like nobody else, and New York also forgets that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and with a change is made, Doctor Strange tells him to stop tampering with the spell, and then with the spell it goes totally wrong, and then the multiverse is starting to break open. And then after the spell goes horribly wrong, Peter asks what just happened, and then we see Peter in a Spider-Man suit jumping off of a building, and then we can see a entire New York like crumbling and going underground, like the rest of the buildings going underground, and then the multiverse now open, and now anything is possible in this movie. Then next we see an original Spider-Man villain returning as like there's like a tornado made of green lightning, so this probably can be Sandman from the original like Tobey Maguire Sandman Raimi Spider-Man trilogy from Spider-Man 3. And then next we see like Peter as Spider-Man and Doctor Strange as they're on like a train, but like it curves, but it's because like multiverse is in madness. And then we hear like Doctor Strange said to Peter he's trying to live two lives as himself and as Spider-Man. And then in the next shot we can see Doctor Strange punching up Peter Parker and turning him into his astral form, and with him as Spider-Man, and we can see like a box like on his hand. It could be a weapon of some sort, but like we're not sure. Then next we see Peter as he's in his Iron Spider suit from Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, and now this was included in like the Twilight video like I did like a month ago, but we can assume that the Iron Spider suit is back, but it is going to be integrated though with magic, as he's gonna have his Iron Spider suit made by Doctor Strange, and it's gonna have a mystical art like mystical magic in it. And then what it looks like to be like a couple of agents like with their guns like pointing their lasers at Happy Hogan, and with like Happy being like in this movie, like he like Peter Parker, like Peter is going to have access to Star Tech. And with the Happy in this movie, so like with the No Way Home, like we can see that Happy is returning. And we can see the return of another original Spider-Man villain, in which with lightning strikes and with the lightning bolts like striking down on Peter as Spider-Man, we can assume that this is going to be Jamie Foxx's Electro, and we know he's confirmed to be in this movie. We've actually noticed like from the very beginning, and this can be Jamie Foxx's Electro from Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man universe. And then we can see like another like huge Easter egg that like another Spider-Man villain is returning, and that is Green Goblin's bomb from the original Spider-Man trilogy from the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And with this hinting like a Green Goblin bomb being shown in the trailer, like this proves that like Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin is coming back in this movie, and we heard that he's going to be the main villain of Spider-Man No Way Home. And with the bomb that he's throwing, we can see a bunch of cars like being blown up. And a very cool detail in the No Way Home trailer that I want to point out is that like Peter is talking to a lady, and he's wearing a suit, and this is much similar to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man suit, as what he wore in Spider-Man 3. So this is a sign that Tobey and Andrew are returning in Spider-Man No Way Home. And then the No Way Home trailer ends with Doc Ock's claws in the trailer being visible, like it's there, and then it turns away, and then we see the one and only Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, as he is the age like in this movie, and then he says the one line, "Hello, Peter," and then we can see like Peter turn into the Iron Spider-Man suit. Yeah, guys, and with the No Way Home trailer, we saw like a bunch of Easter eggs and details that were confirming the Spider-Man villains were returning in this movie, including Sandman, Jamie Foxx's Electro, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, and of course Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, as well as he said "Hello, Peter" at one line. And with like Tobey and Andrew not being in the actual trailer, like we heard that like Tobey and Andrew aren't gonna be in the other trailers until the actual movie comes out. But like this teaser trailer was like an awesome way to hint at the Spider-Man villains returning in this movie as well. And with the multiverse being involved in this movie, and with Doctor Strange be involved in it as well, and with this movie that leads directly into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and which like Spider-Man No Way Home is headed for like the biggest movie of all time. So that's gonna be it for my breakdown of the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below of what you thought of the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. And let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe, and turn on that notification bell for future videos. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter for live updates. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.